Joining me is one of those Liberal MPs you just heard from, Wayne Long. Hi, Mr. Long. Good to see you. Thank you so much for making the time today.
Thanks for the opportunity, Vassie. I've watched you for years. This is an honor.
Oh, you're very kind.
And please call me Wayne.
Okay, will do. When you hear from the Prime Minister that essentially he is done reflecting, he's decided to stay on as leader, what does it say that the reflection period is already over to you?
Look, I was shocked. I think we had hoped that there would be serious reflection. I mean, reflection in 18 hours tells me the Prime Minister, with respect, already had his mind made up. I mean, let's go back. The caucus meeting was clearly intense, direct, blunt. 24 MPs. I know, it's funny, caucus confidentiality. I didn't walk 30 feet outside caucus and heard there were 24 names on the list. But, you have to recognize that, I'm an older person. I'm a 3-term MP. I've got some seasoning, some battle scars. For me to stand direct against the Prime Minister at caucus and say that you need to step down is one thing. But give some credit to the other people that did stand up, 24 on the list, but, young MPs, new MPs, wide array of MPs that stood up. That took a lot of courage to actually stand in front of a G7 world leader, if you will, and say, hey, we love you, and we do, but you got to step down because, we need to do what's right for the party. So, I know everybody's heard, of course, about the October 28th deadline, and he needed to resign by the 28th. And, the intent was kind of like, look, let's frankly tell the Prime Minister how we feel. 24 in the letter. Clearly, there's more than that. I mean, I would say there's double that, but everybody's in a different place. Everybody's in a different space. Everybody wants to be a little protective. You never know, You might get in cabinet, or you might get a power secretary role or something like that. But, in the end, we presented a challenge, and we expected to have some second thought by the Prime Minister. And the hope was that he would take the weekend, reflect, and most importantly, Vassie, seriously, get away from your inner circle. I don't want to name names, but get away from people, because obviously prime ministers are, obviously somewhat insulated. I get that. I respect that. But get away from that inner circle.
I wanted to ask you something. You touched on sort of your colleagues who also, voiced their ask. And it's interesting because I had heard also from people, there was no malice. It was not mean-spirited. It was very, polite in all of the instances. But it was backed up in a genuine feeling that the Prime Minister is not going to lead your party to a win in the next election. Is that your sense as well? That's where it was coming from?
Yeah, I mean, look, nobody's, wringing their hands with glee here. Nobody's happy to do it. Everyone was very serious about it. But, we care. I'll be transparent. I get some calls in the riding from Liberals that are like, how dare you? How dare you do that to the party and the Prime Minister? I'm like, whoa, time out. The Liberal Party's an institution in this country, obviously. It's bigger than one person. It's bigger than Justin Trudeau. Straight up. And as elected members, we have a duty. We have an obligation to make sure that we put the best foot forward in the upcoming election. And a lot of my colleagues feel the same. It's we're really concerned as to where we're going. Show me a poll that says, 80% of Canadians think the Prime Minister shouldn't step down.
The Prime Minister's supporters also contend that things will be different when the campaign starts, and that essentially, and this has certainly been conveyed through media reports, that the Prime Minister and the people around him believe he is the best person to be able to defeat Poilievre when that campaign, does start in earnest. Is it possible they're right?
Well, you know what? I looked at some I was scrolling last night on the internet looking at different things, and I saw this thing, the party's 20 points down, 3 polls, it was like 40-22, 41-19, 40-23, and then I saw, elections are a chance to reboot. We will frame our opponent. Our opponent's message is simplistic. He's just talking about making affordability for Canadians. And guess what, Vasi? That was from 2018, 1 month before Kathleen Wynne's obliteration. Like, history repeats itself. Sorry, but it does. So, like, let's pull the drape open here. And let's not be afraid as elected members to say, look, Justin Trudeau has done amazing things for this country. History is going to be very kind to Justin Trudeau. I'm a proud Liberal. We're all proud Liberals, all of us. We love what we've done. I don't have to give you the greatest hits, but I will. The Canada Child Benefit and the dental plan and the child care and the housing initiatives. We have wonderful colleagues and wonderful ministers. We got a great team. But guess what? We are at a point right now where I'm convinced that we think that Pierre Poilievre is just going to define himself and, let's just hold tight. I've said it many times, stay calm and carry on. It's like, look, in 2022, we had caucus in St. Andrews, very close to my beautiful riding of St. John Ross. And we were told, buckle up, put your seatbelt on. It's going to be a rough year, but man, 2023, we're turning the corner. It's good. Okay. 2023, we go to London. Some of us, without divulging confidentiality, of course, got up and said, hey, this isn't very good. I think we need some changes. We got it. Don't worry. We've got it covered. We're coming out with stuff. Okay. 2024, Nanaimo. It's like people are oblivious to what's going on around us. And I'm like, no.
I just got 30 seconds left, Lean, and I wanted to know, I guess the question lots of Canadians will have after listening to this and seeing the events of the week will be what now? Obviously, you're not running again, and some of the others who have spoken out aren't. But for not everyone has made that call who voiced their opinion to the Prime Minister. If you were to hazard a guess as to whether they don't run again, whether there are other possibilities that exist, like what could you convey to Canadians watching now about what might happen there?
Well, I know there's been people like, oh, they're disorganized and there's this and that. Like, I think every one of us, we're still talking. We're kind of coming up with what do we do next. Obviously, I still hope the Prime Minister will take what I'm saying and take what others are saying and reflect. This isn't quite like the end of it for me. I'm going to continue to say, no, this isn't good enough. Are some MPs who are in different spaces probably going to, pardon the pun, but wane off a little bit? Yeah. But you know what? We're going to keep pushing and we're going to keep looking. I think a secret ballot is something that would be wanted. I think that would solve it once and for all. And one last point, Vasi, there is time. I know people are saying, oh, there's no time. There is time. We can do this. Democracy is messy, and we're determined to make sure that the Liberal Party can succeed in the future.
I'll leave it on that note. Thanks so much for making the time for the conversation. I appreciate it.
It was an honor to be on your show. Thank you.